probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
This is the first time that she's been my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
Did you hear about the TV smackdown that sent shockwaves through daytime television? Joy Behar, the queen of snark, just got dethroned by the most unlikely opponent. Karoliine Leavitt, Trump's former press secretary, didn't just clap back at Behar's mean comments. She straight up sued her way to victory. Talk about a plot twist. Stick around to see how this David versus Goliath showdown went down. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Well, folks, it looks like Joy Behar decided to take a little trip to foot and mouth land on national TV. You'd think after years of gabbing on The View, she'd know better, but nope. Our girl Joy just couldn't resist making a comment about Karoliine Leavitt that had everyone's jaws dropping faster than Trump's approval rating.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. Women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
So picture this. There's Joy sitting pretty on her comfy chair, probably sipping her morning coffee, when she decides to share her oh-so-wise thoughts on why Leavitt got her fancy White House gig. But instead of talking about Leavitt's skills or experience, Joy goes straight for the looks department. Real classy, right? According to Joy's expert analysis, Leavitt's main qualification was being a 10 in Trump's eyes. Yep, you heard that right. In 2023, we're still dealing with folks who think a woman can't possibly land a job because of her brains. It's like Joy forgot we're not living in an episode of Mad Men anymore.
And as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager. That's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can see meant it when she made that statement, and she was conflating it with civil rights and how, women didn't have the right to vote or own property and all of that. That has nothing to do with wokeness, which is, of course, about putting people in there because of their immutable characteristics rather than the merit that they bring to the.
As soon as those words left Joy's mouth, you could practically hear the collective gasp across America. The audience in the studio, they were so shocked you'd think Joy had just announced she was joining the Trump 2024 campaign team. Even her fellow panelists were squirming in their seats, probably wishing they could beam themselves to another dimension. But here's the kicker. After dropping this verbal stink bomb, Joy didn't even bother to say, "Oops, my bad." Nope, she just kept on trucking like she hadn't just insulted a woman on national TV. Talk about doubling down on dumb. Naturally, the internet did what it does best and went absolutely bonkers. Before you could say cancel culture, number fire Joy Behar was trending hotter than a MAGA rally in July. Turns out people aren't too keen on TV hosts who reduce professional women to their looks. Who knew?
Women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. Talk about it. And to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
But wait, there's more. This little verbal slip-up was just the appetizer in Joy's feast of faux pas. Little did she know, her day was about to go from bad to, oh no, what have I done? Faster than you can say, "Kofefe." Hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because Karoliine Leavitt just turned this political soap opera into a full-blown courtroom drama. While Joy Behar was probably hoping her little looks over brains comment would fade away faster than Trump's hairline, Leavitt had other plans. And boy, did she have plans. Instead of firing off a snarky tweet or releasing a boring press statement, Leavitt went for the jugular. She lawyered up and slapped Behar with a defamation lawsuit faster than you can say, "Cuffef." Talk about a plot twist. Suddenly, Behar's zinger wasn't so zingy anymore. Now, imagine being so confident in your looks and brains that you decide to sue a TV legend. That's some real boss energy right there. Leavitt wasn't just mad. She was, "I'm gonna make you regret ever opening your mouth," mad. And let's be honest, it's not every day you see a White House press secretary go toe-to-toe with a daytime TV queen. It's like David versus Goliath. If David wore killer heels and Goliath had a tendency to put her foot in her mouth. As news of the lawsuit spread, even Behar's biggest fans were like, yikes, maybe she went too far this time.
Giving the authority to go into churches and go into schools.
We empowered law enforcement to enforce
but
the
that
law
also
everywhere
has
to protect
knock-on
Americans.
Effect, a chilling effect, arguably, to people to not send their kids.
We absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people
it's
are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted. And because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
The internet exploded into Team Behar versus Team Leavitt faster than Trump can tweet witch hunt. It was like a political Twilight Saga minus the sparkly vampires and with a lot more legal jargon. But here's where it gets really juicy. Legal experts started chiming in saying this wasn't just about some mean comments. Nope, this was about Leavitt's professional reputation and credibility. Suddenly, Behar's little quip wasn't looking so harmless anymore. It was like she'd poked a bear and the bear turned out to be a lawyer in a power suit. Meanwhile, over at ABC, the execs were sweating more than Trump in a salad bar. Emergency meetings were called faster than you can say, "You're fired." They were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Defend their star host or cut her loose to save face. Talk about a tough choice. It was like trying to choose between 2 scoops of ice cream or a Diet Coke. We all know which one Trump would pick. And just like that, the tables had turned. David was taking on Goliath, and Goliath was looking pretty nervous. ABC was in panic mode. Behar was probably regretting ever opening her mouth, and Leavitt, well, she was proving that she had the brains to match her looks. And then some. Well, folks, it looks like Joy Behar's sharp tongue finally got her into some hot water she couldn't talk her way out of. Who would have thought that a snarky comment about someone's looks could lead to a pink slip? But here we are, watching karma do its thing in real time. This whole mess has got people talking, and not just about Behar's foot and mouth moment. Viewers are demanding more respect and professionalism from their TV hosts. It's like they suddenly remembered that sexism isn't cool, even when it's dressed up as a joke. Who knew? But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one TV host getting the boot. It's sparking conversations about supporting women in leadership roles and fighting sexism in the workplace. So next time you're tempted to make a snarky comment about someone's appearance, remember, karma's watching, and she might just have a law degree and a hashtag ready to go viral.